Yeah, you just got the hand sanitizer. And the wipes. Got the sanitizer wipes.
That's another right here.
This food on point.
Yeah, she did her thing. She actually got some gravy that she be putting on it. Usually it's a little lighter, tastes a little better. But that was good though.
Yeah, that's on point.
First breath I took, a life too surreal. Second breath I took was the pivot and strike, finish the kill. Influenced by might with every sickness reveal. I won't pay back, fuck the dollar bill. Remain calm as the pressure build. Gotta endure until I let this pump whistle at my foes in memory and empty till. I only live to do my master's will. I.S.U.P.K, motherfucker. Ain't no cowards on this battlefield. Gone straight but made greater in my return. Left to my mistakes. Every error was a lesson learned. Now I don't move, let's see get approved. Won't take a step till it get confirmed. On the tape, it was made for our sakes. March like a tape. One step will make the ground shake. My people sick in their head, Lord, let this truth spread like an outbreak. Bring hell and the crackers can't escape. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. I want payback for the scars in the slave memoirs. The Christ around, I can't let it slide. Ignore the lies. The only free will that's before your eyes. It's life or death, nigga, you decide. This heaven was made for me and my fellow. I patiently wait with my eyes on the sparrow, and I pull the trigger while my lips kiss the barrel. Before I ever let a white bitch do me like Othello. I want out this wicked life like Romello. By any means, this devil pulling strings like a pedal. Lay hold on this brotherhood. I swear I never let go. And fuck that silver school, got too much love for the ghetto. And it's gonna set up with BB, I die for the cause. Just to hear the angels of blood. And I'm true by every word I say. Cause I know my victory on the way. On it, nigga, walk this way. This life may be hard, but I can't give up. On my nigga, go hard, and I won't give up. Could you tell me about this hard that you feel so much? And why you look so good? It's real, I be walking with you, man. This life may be hard, but I can't give up. On my nigga, go hard, and I won't give up. Could you tell me about this God that you feel so much? And why you look so tough? It's real, I be walking with the makers. Boy, I can't be touched. Can't do it in clutch. They hate when they can't doubt us. We princes of the power, what you know about us? Evil all around us, but a nigga straight. I told you I can't be touched. Only angels walk at my place. I'm grateful for the birds that had me delivered. I'm hungry for the glory, but I ain't eating till I feed my next. One West, what I die for. Attire out the book of numbers, this rifle from the Archangel Michael. My niggas rebels, you can't deny them. It's 144. I be running to and fro with the Allah high. My I.S.U.P.K soldiers ain't no folding, no pretending. We in it for them trials, fuck friends, we want dominion. In the election session, I hope I make it through. Give a damn what a bitch think, as long as my niggas know I'm true. Betray the kind to get success. Make it through the eye of the steel, nigga. I'll be his life may be hard, but I can't give up. On my nigga, go hard, and I won't give up. Could you tell me about this hard that you feel so much? And why you look so tough? It's real, I be fucking with the makers. Why life may be hard, but I can't give up. On my nigga, go hard, and I won't give up. Could you tell me about this God that you feel so much? And why you look so tough? It's real, I be walking with the makers. Boy, I can't be touched.
Ready?
I'm ready.
We'll sign Christ.
All right, right, hey, Shalom Israel, Yahweh Shem Yahushua Baraka Thumb to all the brothers, Yahweh Shemar Alathun by Shem Yahushua to all the sisters. This is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, coming out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding Gen.YAHANNA. Right, and we go into this Bible. If you've never seen this before, we go into this Bible, right, and prove to you who the Israelites are according to biblical scriptures. We get the proof out the Bible, and if we have to appease you further, we get the proof from history, and we get the proof from archaeology, right? We're an organization made up only of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. All right, we just had some devil stop by to the school on 10th Street here in Indianapolis and say, "Oh, what is this?" I walked past. I always kind of wonder what it was. The brother broke it down to her. Right, and so at the end she asked, so I couldn't attend if I wanted to. Right, hell no, you couldn't attend. you're not able to come into this holy place. The most raggedy building run down is still sanctified if the priest is in there teaching the word of God. You understand? Right. This is the equivalent of a temple. You can't come here. You can't defile this place because you're a filthy heathen. Right. And I know that's harsh to a lot of people. Right, which is really going to lead me into my topic today, which is interracial marriage, right? This problem, and I call it a problem, rightfully so, because in Israel we have a problem of hating ourselves, right? We hate ourselves so much we don't think that Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are good enough for us. We look outside, like Lord be with you if you're looking into Moab right now. If you're looking after a Chinese woman right now, after seeing all the abominable foods they eat, like you in a sad case. You're a sad state. You know what I mean? You need a lot of guidance. You need a lot of encouragement. You need wisdom. You need a brother just to smack the fire out you spiritually and tell you you're doing something wrong. Because you see what a Chinese woman puts in her mouth. Can you imagine what her breath smells like? Can you imagine laying with that? Yuck. That's nasty. You don't need to look to these other nations, to get you someone who will love you. All you have to do is come into the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. Don't go to the Christian church. Right. The Christian church is going to raise men that are weak and effeminate. Right. And if not, they're gonna be money hungry. Right. They're gonna follow mammon. They're gonna molest little kids, or they're gonna want your woman. Right. You was gonna say something?
And if I could, that's so heavy what you're bringing out, because I was talking with a brother, and he was saying his grandmama was bad mouthing him to his girl.
His grandmother was bad mouthing.
Was talking bad about him to his girl.
Oh wow!
Right,
and that's his grandma.
That's his grandma.
Wow.
And she a Christian and all that. Right. And I was talking to somebody about it. They said, man, why would somebody's grandma do that? I said, that's because she's a Christian. Right. That's Christian 101. Right. But Tyler Perry made about $1 billion, the biggest Christian icon of the last 20 years, right, off the same premise. Right. A grandmama who talked mess, don't care who she offends, right, who feels she hurt. Right. She just talk about anything and anybody. Right. And she's a Christian that's sanctified and all that. Right. That's Christianity 101.
Right. That's absolutely correct. And Christians, like we in society, we're taught to look to Christians for guidance and for direction, and they're kind of the bar, right? They set the bar. But in reality, Christians don't set the bar. The Israelite School, Universal Practical Knowledge, we set the bar. Right. Christianity, if you're in Christianity right now, you actually serve in Satan. I know it sounds odd. I know it sounds weird. When people, even when I say it myself, I look at my old me and like, damn, really? But it's true. You actually serve in Satan. You are not following after the Lord. I'll give you an example. All right. Christian, look at the number of Christian pastors that have been caught sleeping with the deacon's wife, or a congregation member, some congregation member's wife. Look at the number of pastors that have been found stealing from the church. Right. Look at it. Look at what was the cat Jamal Bryant. He was trying to charge $150 for COVID-19 tests. Right. Like if you a man of the Lord, shouldn't you and you can help your people like that? That should be your goal. You shouldn't be trying to gain off the misery of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You shouldn't be trying to seek profit. That's called mammon. You in love with mammon, following after mammon, right? Christian pastors, they molesting little kids. Christianity in a nutshell is whatever your lust wants, whatever you lust for, that's what you're going to do. That's what Christianity teaches. And then the thing that's even more evil, it comes back and says, you know what? All you got to do is pray and you'll be forgiven. Right. All you got to do is believe Jesus and you'll be forgiven. But that's not repentance. Repentance says when you turn away from the things that you're doing, you must repent. Right. So that's my opening statement, so to speak. Right. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to get into some scriptures. Any questions that you got online, you know what I mean? Any questions you got online, type those in. If I can answer them, I'll answer them. If I can't answer them, I will get you the answer. You understand? This is the Israelite School Universal Practical Knowledge. We got all the biblical answers that you can ever want and desire. All you got to do is come to class and be a studious, right? So let's I sent you a link in that. Could we get that link up on the screen behind me? I'm gonna slide to the side a little bit if we can get it.
Go ahead. You sent it about Facebook?
To your messenger.
Okay.
The messenger, it has some statistics, and this is just I mean, this is a little bit of data just to kind of put things into perspective for the people that are watching, because they might think that I'm just talking just to talk, but we actually gonna share some statistics about interracial marriage, right? Interracial marriage. We'll pull up some statistics. I'm gonna slide to the side just for a second, so maybe the brother could get them up. I'm not sure if you better get them up or not.
Can we read it?
No, I got it. Throw out it though. So this, like, I was just looking at some data, see what, what was collected as far as, the damn government, they collect all the data about you anyway. Like I know from class, like all the digital devices, they know all your damn business. So it really don't even matter. But here's some information that it wasn't really interesting because I already knew it. You live life and you can tell this, but just to kind of put it into perspective for everybody watching online, this is from 2015, right? This is from 1980 to 2015. And what it's doing is showing you the trending data of it says dramatic increase in intermarriage for blacks, whites, right? So basically this is the percent of newlyweds who are intermarried, right? So Asians from 1980 to 2015. Now I will say this about them filthy Asians. They got the right idea on that. That number should be going down to zero. Only Chinese people should marry all Chinese people.
Right.
Japanese people should marry all Japanese people. So their trend is actually going down. Now, again, this is not the most current data, but it gives you a good baseline to what you see, in society today. Hispanics, that number is trending up, right? It's going up from 1980 to 2015. You see, there's an increase in the number of Hispanics marrying outside of, that. Now, when they're doing the data, they're talking about specifically, people of Hispanic origin, or what you would consider, North Central South American, Indians, right? Or Hispanics, Latinos. But even that is, that term, basically what I'm trying to say, the people who are not of Spanish descent, right? They were conquered and they speak Spanish. Now look at the black joint.
Right.
5% to 18%. All of it is skyrocketing. And that number, I can tell you, if I get plot my own data up here, I guarantee you in 2020, that joint is still shooting up in the same manner.
Right.
You know what I mean? Black people, and that's really, we're going to get into it. That's really the effects of slavery. That's the effects of, self-hatred. That's the effects of oppression. You know what I mean? So we look at, black people, right? They don't love themselves. They don't think that black people are good enough for them to marry. Don't get a little money. You get any kind of money and you damn near look at black people like you're not even black. You know what I mean? Now, whites was also interesting about white people. Like there's a large majority, mainly white people or white women, mainly white women, right? They like to marry outside of their race, right? I ain't got to explain to you why. You already know what Esau is working with. He ain't working with much. She get a hold of a black man and she can't get enough. Right. But you see the number is going up for them as well. So this is kind of setting the tone and setting the stage for what's been going on since the beginning. Right. This has been going on since the beginning. So now that we got these, somebody said the image is very bad. The TV looks like
Yeah, you can't really see the bars.
Oh.
You see the white screen.
The camera won't zoom in?
I never zoomed in. I don't know if it can zoom in.
You could probably adjust it.
Oh yeah, let me see this. Oh, okay. It don't have a thing to adjust. It's not like yours. It don't have a thing in front.
Oh, okay.
Turn.
Damn. Okay. Well, anyway, just you can't see the screen, but just know that the data shows that black people from 1980 to 2015, that number has been dramatically increased. Right? The trend line looks like this. It's going straight up. Right? And what I want to bring out today is that is a sin according to the Lord. And what we're going to find out in the scriptures is that's been going on since the beginning of time. Basically, what you have to do is marry someone from your own nation.
Right.
You blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you are one nation. You make up the nation of Israel. When I say Hispanics, I'm not talking about people from Spain or Spanish descent. I'm talking about the people whose identity was stolen. They fit the curses in Deuteronomy chapter 28. Those people from the 10 tribes, and the people from the other 2 tribes, the northern and the southern kingdom. Those are the people that I'm talking about, right? When I talk about, Indians, I'm not talking about East Indians. I'm talking about Native Americans and West Indians, right? People down in the Caribbean islands, right? Those are the folks that we're talking about. So let's get into a couple scriptures. All right. Like I said, if y'all got any questions, go ahead and type those in. Let's get Genesis. Genesis chapter 6, verse 1.
Genesis 6:1. All I can have it.
Man, I thought that little graph was showing. I'm sitting up here talking my head off about it. That joint ain't showing.
I mean, the number's still going up.
Yeah, the numbers, trust us. Whoever watching and following along, the numbers from 1980 to 2015 are going up as far as black interracial marriage.
Is that it? I can pull that down?
Yeah, that's it on that. I wish they would have been able to see it, but just know that we're not making up that chart data. That data is real. And really what you can do, you can look out on the streets. You go to downtown, if you're in this area, you go to downtown Indianapolis on a Saturday. We'd be out there at camp, and it is a ton of interracial couples down there. It's like the place to be down there if you got a white woman or a white man. You go downtown, you have a nice dinner away from the niggas in the ghetto, right?
Right.
Out of the sight of everybody in your hood, and you just go down there and have a wonderful time with your white counterpart, and that's that.
Right.
All right, Genesis 6:1.
Genesis 6:1. And it came to pass when men began to multiply on the face of the earth.
All right, so I mentioned earlier this thing with interracial marriage. This has been going on since biblical times, right? We've always had this desire to be amongst the other nations and to be loved by the other nations. When the Lord say you the best nation on the planet, why on earth would you ever want to join yourself to another nation when the Lord chose you? Right? The Lord chose you out of all the nations. Let's keep going.
And daughters were born unto them, that the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were fair.
All right, so now we're going to get into a difference of people. I'm looking at, you think I should get off this Wi-Fi on my laptop?
Lately, we haven't been having no problems. I think I haven't been tagging people, and we've been having straight streams.
Because I'm looking at it on my laptop. It looked like it's a little choppy. Let's see the picture. It looked a little choppy on the picture, don't it?
No, and you probably increase the quality on your video too. But it is chopping on here. It might be from the webcam.
Okay.
But it ain't choppy as in like you moving. It's still flowing though.
Gotcha. I'm just gonna hop off.
Yeah, I think before it was when we was tagging people and when I was sharing it to different groups, that's how they were cutting off our stream. So after I started, I mean, I don't want to jinx it or nothing, but
Right.
the last week, I haven't been tagging nobody and nothing, and just streaming it, and they played all the way through.
Okay.
So I'm pretty sure that might have been the culprit. Some haters out there flagged their videos or something.
Okay. Well, shit, let's keep writing it out then. I just want to make sure people can see it because I know 1 week they said it was real choppy. 1 week they said it was real. Okay, no sweat. I'm looking at it on my phone. It looked clear now. All right, most high in Christ. All right, so now we about to make a difference. Slaki, can you read verse 2 again?
That the sons of God.
All right, now the sons of God. When it's talking about the sons of God, that's talking about Adam's people, right? Adam's people and Adam and the people that came after Adam, right? The Lord chose Adam for a particular reason. He could have chose anybody that was already on the earth. He could have said, all right, I'm gonna choose you, Bill, or whoever. He could have chose whoever. He chose Adam, and he said, you know what? You're the son of God. I chose you. Your people that come after you are the sons of God.
Right.
Now notice what it says. Keep going.
That the sons of God saw the daughters of men.
Saw the daughters of men, who are the daughters of men. This is everybody else that was on the planet, right? And their daughters. This is, all the people that was in the world. So you had, in that known world at the time, you had the sons of God, and you had the sons of men or daughters of men, right? Let's keep going.
And they took them wives of all which they chose.
Right. So they took. Did we skip part?
That they were fair, and they took them wives of all of which they chose.
And I wanted to hit on that they were fair. Okay, that piece right there is really heavy because the Bible says it saw that these women were fair, and that's what's happening in America these days, especially amongst Judah. You've been conditioned so bad, right? You all from the time you grew up, right? You watch TV, you see Edomites on TV, right? You didn't see a whole bunch of black people on TV. You see more black shows now because it's a couple black stations. You had BET when I was coming up. Right. You saw more and more, right? It's more than just the Cosby's that's on TV. But there was a time where you didn't see black people on TV at all. Think back to the 60s. Black people, you might have saw people shucking and jiving, you know what I mean?
Right.
You might have, but they didn't have their own show. They didn't have, it wasn't an abundance of black people with positive, uplifting messages on TV to portray an image to black people, right? Which is how you get taught a lot of things. People don't realize the impact of what media has. Songs, movies, right? All that stuff plays a major part in educating you, whether you know it or not. Right. Even subconsciously, if you see, you watch a movie where they doing a lot of fight scenes, you feel energized damn near. I know if you're a male, I don't know about females. Right. You watch a damn old kung fu movie, you swear you about to go train and learn nunchucks. Pop yourself in the damn head with the nunchucks. Right. You're trying to do all kind of kicks and all that. But all that stuff goes even subconsciously if you don't realize it. Right. So it plays a major part in at least forming thoughts for you, right? Different movies, you watch throughout your years, you're like, man, I really want to be like this person. It can be positive too. It doesn't always have to be negative. So we've been taught our life to look at, Esau as the thing of beauty. Brothers look at Taylor Swift like she is, I don't know, an angel floating down with a harp. You know what I'm saying? People look at Taylor Swift like she's the most gorgeous thing on earth. And it's only because you've been conditioned. Right. You put Taylor Swift up against some sisters that's in the hood that had a chance to change their life, that wrapped their head, put on a dress, stop smoking, start working out a little bit, start cooking a little bit instead of, going to McDonald's every time you're hungry. You get a sister that's right and that's in order and that's following the Lord, you put Taylor Swift to shame, man. Right. Put Taylor Swift. You seen the back of Taylor Swift? She looks like a 2x2. You understand? She looks like a damn 2x2. Taylor Swift ain't got nothing on that back end. And I know Israel, we love to have a little something on the back. Taylor Swift is not gonna do it for you, guys. Right. So you look at her and you look at her pale skin and she got makeup on. That's what you've been conditioned to like. That's not really what you like. Once you get out of this slavery, once you get out of this captivity, once you see, you know, Israel in their full beauty, then you're gonna be like, okay, I don't know, like, we in the school, we're a little different. Like, obviously we know that Israel is gorgeous, but brothers in the world, they'd be like, oh man, you know, Scarlett Johansson, Taylor Swift,
right?
I don't know who else is you know. Like, he get brother KD, he's like, I don't know none of them dudes. You know what I mean? But that's all from conditioning. That's all from being in this captivity. That's all from being in slavery. And that's the scripture so heavy when it says, and they saw that they are fair, but really they're not fair. I mean, they may be fair to them. Yeah, that's wonderful for Esau. You know, you got your pick of the litter out here with these, you know, with these she devils. Go ahead and get you one and be happy. But as for us, it says, Shalaki, and they said, and they took them wives of all which they chose. That's the other problem. You can't choose for yourself all the time, right? Unless you've been taught how to choose.
Right.
What's one of the hopes that, you know, a father has for his daughter? You know, it's your father, you know, any good father is going to say, I want you to choose somebody right. You know what I mean? Don't choose somebody that's going to beat and abuse you. Like, that's one of the, you know, one of the fears that a lot of fathers have when they have daughters. Don't get with somebody that's going to be beating on you, you know, and, you know, stealing your money and stealing your money, not from a, you know, from like a righteous perspective, you know, like the woman's money should be the man's. Like, he'll decide, you know, what she do. But in the terms of, like, you know, stealing out her purse, abusing, just total abuse, right? It's a difference between being led righteously and being abused, right? So that's one of the fears. Is like, you have to know how to choose. That's why, you know, good fathers will put a lot of instruction in their daughters. You want to choose a man that's going to be patient with you, because I know you're crazy, girl. You're sitting here, I raised you up. I already know you're crazy. You need a patient man. You need a man that's going to, number one, serve the Lord. You need a man that's going, you know, that he's righteous. You need a man that's going to take care of you, meaning guide you spiritually, right? Protect you from harm, which is the duty of a man also, right? It's to physically protect his family. So the scriptures say they chose any that they wanted. But sometimes you got to be taught how to choose, or sometimes you even somebody got to choose for you, because you're such a knucklehead, you're not going to choose correctly.
Right.
All right, let's keep going.
And the Lord said, and the Most High said, my spirit shall not always strive with man.
All right, so the Most High is mad at this point. He saw that the sons of God, right, took the daughters of men. Now, that's not what they were supposed to do. They were supposed to choose from Adam's, from the people of Adam, the sons of God, or the daughters of God, right? Basically.
Right.
Keep going.
For that he also is flesh.
Right. Meaning he's the Most High not putting up with this. He's tired. I'm not going to, you know, strive, meaning fight. I'm not going to always fight with man over this. You know, I'm just going to destroy him. Go ahead.
Right. Yet his days shall be 120 years.
Right. And he even wanted to limit how long we lived. You look at, you know, people like Methuselah, you know, 900 years, you know, living, you know, hundreds of years. Like, he's like, I'm going to set a time limit on them. They didn't piss, like, we really pissed the Lord off. Like, a lot of people don't understand the reason why the earth was destroyed the first time was because of this interracial marriage.
Right.
Let's hold that right there. We're going to come back to it. Right. We're going to come back. I think we got a question. Why do people date outside their race? Ron Evans. That's a good question. I think we talked about that a little bit earlier. I don't know if he was on, but it definitely stems from, you know, being in this captivity, being in slavery. We shared a chart earlier in the class. The chart showed from 1980 to 2015 that interracial marriage among Black people was on a, you know, rise all the way up. So the trend line was all the way up. And that trend, you know, based on what I'm now, that data only went to 2015, but you can look on the streets and see that data it hasn't calmed down for Black people. That's something that we're doing more and more. And part of the discussion was, you look at the imagery that you've been, you know, flooded with since the beginning. You look at even toys, kids' toys. Most of the kids' toys are white. Most of the kids' heroes are white. Most of the kids' teachers are white. Most of you know, anybody, damn near, you know, everybody in society that has prominent roles in your life, damn near have been white. Not all, not for everybody, but in general. You look at the hood, you know, a lot of times, even in the hood, the male person is white. You even go to the hood libraries. The librarians are what? They're white. Even in the hood, it's like, you know, the people that you look to as, you know, some sign of respect, police, firemen, a lot of those people are white. The vast majority of them are white. Now, granted, we're only, you know, 12, you know, 11, 12, 13% of the population, but even still, you would think in the hood, you would see more black policemen. You would see more black firemen. You would see, you know, black judges when you go to court. Listen, you go to court, you damn near think you listen. I mean, you see a lot of black people, but they not on the side where you want to be. Right. They're in there for court like you. So it's just all, you know, it's a product of slavery for sure. It's a product of being oppressed, and it's a product of them flooding you with white images, and you think that white is so right and so great, right? So in this captivity, man, that's, you know, that's the result. That's the reason why so many of us look to white people, because also they're in a position of power. You look at, you know, Esau in his kingdom, he's in the position of power. So you look at the woman as something that's desirable, right? It's that thing that you desired since slavery. Actually, and if you look at it, the verse that we read, you desired it since the Bible. You know what I mean? You desired these other nations since biblical times. Let's keep going to verse 3.
That's like we have verse 4.
Oh, verse 4. Okay.
There were giants in the earth in those days.
All right, so just pump your brakes on that, because giants is not referring to, you know, what's that? Nephilim, right? That's not. You're not gonna have, you know, giant people on the earth. I seen somebody posted on Facebook. Everybody love memes on Facebook. They posted, you know, archaeologists digging up bones of this giant skeleton. I'm like, get out of here. No, right. You know, that ain't false. Giants is talking about people of high stature on the earth, people that are in prominent positions, like giants today. You'll have giants on the earth like Justin Bieber, you know what I mean, or I don't know,
Will Smith, Denzel.
Will Smith. And I was thinking about more Edomites, but you know, even black on the black people, you have some, like you said, Will Smith, Denzel, Michael Jordan, Oprah Winfrey. Right. All those people are giants on the earth, right? It's not talking about a physical stature, but it's talking about their presence, their power, you know, how prominent they are on the earth today. Right. Right? You got it.
If I could. And you know, it's not talking about giant 70-foot men, because if they are the sons of God that's 70 foot tall, and they're taking the daughters of men and having kids with them, how is a 70-foot tall man having sex with a 4 foot, 5 foot woman?
Right. The anatomy doesn't even work on that. So that's another heavy point that the brother just brought out. The anatomy won't work for somebody that's, you know, super giant like that. It just won't work from you know, from an anatomy standpoint.
Right.
All right. So those giants on the earth was talking about men of stature, you know. Let's keep going.
And also after that, when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men.
Right. So again, sons of God is referring to the you know, Adam's lineage, his people, all his descendants. And the daughters of men are people who were not chosen by the Most High. These are all the other nations that, you know, all the other people that was on the earth. These are the daughters of men. These people we were not supposed to take. Who were we supposed to take? Let me get Genesis 2 and 23. You was gonna answer?
I was gonna answer.
You got it.
The sons of the children of Adam.
That's right. The children of Adam, which were the sons of God. Let's get Genesis. We're gonna hold that and get Genesis 2 and 23.
Genesis chapter 2, verse 23.
Mm-hmm.
And Adam said, "This is now bone of my bones."
Right. So Adam took Eve, right? And he said, "This is now bone from my bone." Go ahead.
Bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh.
And flesh from my flesh, meaning she was from his family. She was a sister that was, you know, she was approved, basically. The Most High approved her to be married, like to Adam, for Adam to marry her. He didn't approve Adam to marry somebody who was not from his bones and not from his flesh. This was a woman from his bones, from his flesh, meaning from his family, right? So that's who he was supposed to marry. And he did. Adam married somebody. And guess what? His descendants, they were supposed to do the same thing. Adam taught his people to do the same thing. You marry people from your family, right?
Right.
Don't think freaky deaky, like go try to marry your sister. Don't be nasty. Right, meaning people in your family, you know, extended family, right? Let's go back to chapter 6 and pick up at, we was in the middle of 4, I believe.
Genesis chapter 6, verse 4.
Mm-hmm.
And they bare children to them.
Uh-huh.
The same became mighty men which were of old, men of renown.
Right. So again, these daughters, the daughters of men, we had children by them, and these sons, right? You think of anybody that's rose to society that come from, you know, their mother is a heathen. You got one?
And I got the definition of renown.
Okay, you get it.
Renown, the condition of being known or talked about by many people.
Mm-hmm.
Fame.
Mm-hmm. A-Rod. Not A-Rod. He used to play for New York. Retired. Derek Jeter. Had a white mama.
There's a couple of them. Diana Ross' daughter, she famous for being a mix. Diana Ross, Tracy Ellis Ross.
Right.
She's famous for being a mix.
Right. I mean, the list goes on and on. You know what I mean, about people who, but it says when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, and they bare children to them. Right. So these were still children from the sons of God, but the mothers were from the daughters of men. All right, let's get verse 5.
Verse 5. And the Most High saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth.
And it's because of this. The earth was destroyed. So you put that into context in today, what you're seeing in today's time, this interracial marriage and what all has been going on in the earth, man. The Most High is looking down on this, right? The Most High is looking down on this, and he already destroyed the earth once with water because of interracial marriage. We just read it. Read that part again.
And the Most High saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth.
What was this wickedness that he saw?
Wickedness of man was great in the earth.
Right. This is the wickedness of man. All this interracial marriage, all the marriages between the sons of God and the daughters of men. All right. Let's keep going.
And that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually.
Right. One.
And it repented the Most High that he had made man on the earth.
Man.
And it grieved him at his heart.
Man, that's heavy right there. Because if you look at what he did during biblical times, the Lord is not different, right? Oh, let me get that real quick. Was it Malachi 3:6?
I changed that.
Yeah, I changed that. Is that right? Malachi 3:6? I might be wrong on that. The Lord ain't any different.
Malachi 3:6, kind of.
The Lord ain't any different. He hated interracial marriage then. He hates it now. Go ahead.
Malachi 3:6. For I am the Most High. I change not.
The Lord say he don't change. Go ahead.
Therefore, ye sons of Jacob are not consumed.
That's why you're not consumed, because the Most High don't change. Right. If he did change, if he did say, you know what? I said I wasn't going to destroy the earth anymore. If he changed his mind, he just be like, you know what? Well, I ain't got no love for Israel no more. I'm just going to wipe them out. I'm going to let them go into captivity, and they're going to be destroyed as a people. Abortion is going to kill them off. Cops going to kill them off. Poverty going to kill them off. But the Lord don't change, man. And he's always like, once he chose Israel, we are his nation. Once he chose the sons of God and down through Adam's lineage, and then chose the 12 lost tribes of the nation of Israel. That was it, man. That's what he wants. And that's why he don't change. So that means we got to serve him, because he's not going to go against. He's not going to say, you know what? It's fine for y'all to interracial marriage. Y'all just ain't going to listen anyway, so go ahead and do it. Nah, that ain't going to happen, man. You got to stop sleeping with these dogs. All these other nations, they're not better than our women anyway.
All right.
Go ahead.
Back at Genesis?
Yes, kind of. I think verse 7 was the last one.
If I could, the food got me moving slow.
Shout out to my rib.
Yeah, shout out to that food. Boy. Got me back here.
Got him zoned up. Nah, it was on point.
Genesis 6:7. And the Most High said, I will destroy man.
That's what the Lord did. He destroyed man he wiped out the earth, saved 8 people because of interracial marriage. That's how serious it is. That's how much of a discretion it is against the Most High. Right. Like he destroyed the earth. Well, not the earth, but he destroyed the world for it, right? Saved 8 people, flooded the whole entire planet. Go ahead.
Said, I will destroy man whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast, and the creeping thing, and the fowls of the air, for it repenteth me that I have made them.
Right. He was upset. He was sad. He was, he wasn't happy that he made the earth. It's so much so because he had set things in place the way that they should be. He gave Adam the garden, right? He was supposed to keep that land, right, and build it up and raise up his people, to marry within their family and build a nation that way, right? But Adam's lineage didn't do it. The sons of God started to see the daughters of men and saw that they were fair, and they started to marry them, right? And the Most High looked at that, and he was repentant that he made the whole earth. Think about how heavy that is. He wanted to destroy everything because of interracial marriage. So when you're thinking about looking at that Becky and looking at Taylor Swift and looking at that pancake in the back, which I don't know why you would want to, but you're looking at that pancake like it's something you want, just know that the Lord is against it.
Right.
All right, let's drop that. Let's get Deuteronomy 7:3. We're gonna get into the laws behind it, right? And why you shouldn't, or what the Lord said, right? So that was one example of that was basically why the Most High destroyed the earth the first time through flooding, is because of interracial marriage, right? So keep that in mind, like I said.
Deuteronomy 7:6.
Right.
For thou art an holy people unto the Most High thy God.
Mm-hmm.
The Most High thy power hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself.
Right. You a special people. He chose you to be separate. Right. That's what holy means, to be separate. Take me up to 7:3, Baba Kushar.
Deuteronomy 7:3. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son.
How many times you seen like a family, they got a black daughter and they give her away to this devil like he is just the best thing since sliced bread? Like that's the thing. Like you don't understand, when you give your daughter away, you're going against the Lord. When your son, just like Commander GEN.YAHANNA brought out on the radio show,
right,
the mother is in there with her son, right? She pulling the devil off her son for the draft, right? Was that he was going to the Buccaneers or the Bengals, I believe. I think he was going to the Bengals, right?
Yeah.
And so it's this during the draft. His devil girlfriend is sitting on his lap, right? And his mother, because she wanted him to have the shine, she pulled the white girl off of him, and so the whole thing, everybody thought that was something. But what would have been better is to not have her there in the first place.
Right.
To teach your son, don't sleep with a white woman. Right. You're gonna end up like all these black athletes. Tiger, I think, is probably the worst. Right. Tiger got with a maid or a nanny, right? Married her, got caught cheating. She beat him over the head with a golf club and got him for damn near $100 million. I was like, ouch. I didn't even know Tiger. I just felt bad. You lost 100 M? Whew. That's a rough one right there. That's a rough one. Because, at one point, I don't know what he's worth now, but Tiger was worth damn near a beat. You know what I mean? So that had to hurt. But it's so many athletes, that get with these white women and think that they such a prize, and they, turn against you, take your money, or, end up leaving you. Or, Tim Duncan's wife slept with somebody else. She cheated on him. Forward on him, Tim Duncan, brother got millions, super talented. You know what I mean? Probably top 10 all-time NBA or top 20 for sure. You know what I mean? Definitely top 10, top 5 centers ever.
Who?
Tim Duncan.
Oh, God.
You know what I mean? She got a star athlete with millions of dollars, and that still wasn't good enough for her. So when a sister would be super ecstatic to be with a brother who could take care of them like that. Being taken care of by Esau, they live in a society where they can be taken care of anyway. Their parents probably had bread, paid for their college. You know what I mean? Like money is not as big to them as it is to us. Right. Like when we can pay our rent on time and have money left over, we happy. They pay their rent, on 2 locations in a summer home, and they still pissed off because they didn't have enough to travel around the world this year. So, it ain't the same.
Right.
Any more on that scripture?
God. For they will turn away thy son from following me.
That's the whole point of it right there. That's the whole point. You following after these other nations, guess what? You don't think Esau is going to have you celebrating Christmas? She going to have you celebrating Christmas, or he going to have you celebrating Christmas. Right. You go on to Easter dinner. You going to celebrate veterans, all the corny ones too. Veterans Day, President's Day, Columbus Day, Lord forbid, Columbus Day. You just doing all you basically gonna follow after all the heathens and what they celebrate. That's why the Lord don't want you to be with these other nations, because they're gonna turn you away from Him. Which is what's the point of choosing you if you're not gonna serve Him? Why did the Most High even choose you if you're not willing to serve Him? You might as well He might as well not have chosen you.
All right.
Any more on that?
That they may serve other gods.
Right, and that's where we oh, Salaki, you go ahead.
Oh, so will the anger of the Most High be kindled against you and destroy thee suddenly.
Man, the Most High's anger is going to be kindled against you, right? Because you're going to serve other gods, just like we do in America today. What we serve Caesar Borgia. Not only do we serve him, we say he is God. Him and God is one. That's what we say. We say Caesar Borgia and God is one. And your image of God is even a white image.
Right.
Right. And you get that from the Sistine Chapel and all these medieval artists and their depiction of Christ and the angels and God. All that stuff has been pushed down your throat. Like the brother had asked the question earlier, why do black people, why do we want to be with the other nations? Because we think the other nations are better than us. Right. Because they painted the Sistine Chapel. Because all the famous art and imagery are damn near created by all, Edomites. All these other nations have great and wonderful things, and niggas in the ghetto don't have anything. That's why we want to be them. But little do we know that we are the people that people should be trying to follow. Good. You got it.
So like Darnell I.S.U.P.K. Hayam Foster Sr. said, wasn't with a teammate too? Salaki.
Wasn't with a teammate too.
Like maybe the Tim Duncan thing?
Yeah. Yeah, you're right, I.S.U.P.K. You're right. I think it was one of his teammates, if I'm not mistaken. But I mean, the whole thing is, that was a small point that I made, but it's like the point of the matter is a sister from the hood is going to appreciate a brother with money more. You know what I mean? Becky, they society got bread like that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Our society, we just don't have a whole bunch of people walking around with summer homes. How many niggas with summer homes?
Right.
You know what I mean? You got it.
And if I could, shout out to Commander GEN.YAHANNA. He is a strong brother because when he gave the breakdown on basically all the benefits, all the good things that these devil women would get, these white women would get from being with some celebrity black man, getting their house clean, riding a nice car, fancy houses, fancy food, trips, and shopping sprees, and all that for a whole lifetime. I damn near not even strong enough to even talk about it because it's such a waste. It's like if somebody wastes like if you just won the lotto and somebody threw away the ticket.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, dang, it's so heinous.
Right.
And we didn't had so little, and then we get something, we give it to some other people.
Right.
It's just so disgusting.
Right. That's the point right there. Is you taking something that could be super valuable to a community. Imagine, just imagine one NBA player, right? Imagine one NBA player from whatever hood he came from. Say you're talking about a brother that was born and raised in, Indianapolis, or another brother born and raised in, Kentucky, somewhere, Hopkinsville, Kentucky, if that's the spot. But he born and raised there, and he not afraid to come back to the hood. He got all kind of programs for the hood. He got businesses in the hood. He helping other people get businesses in the hood. Instead, what is he focused on? He's focused on being a part of white society. Like that piece that really got me was I think Donald. This was all around when Donald Sterling, that whole business was going on. You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Donald Sterling told Magic Johnson, is like, in my community, the poor of my community, we all pitch in and we support them. We put in money for them. We start all kind of businesses for them. They got resources. He's like, black people don't do that. If I was Magic Johnson, I would have went to go live under a rock after that. Because I don't look at Magic Johnson like, I don't know if he does do anything for black people, but I know it's not on a grand scale.
Right.
I ain't never seen nothing like grand. Like I seen LeBron. Like people be hating on LeBron. He's one of the, he's not in the truth by any means, but the brother donated $40 million for black schools and started black schools and doing all this. He helped house black people. So at least I've seen something from him. But like, if I was Magic, I just would have went to live under a rock after that, because I don't recall him doing anything special. And even if he did, it's so small and minute. I mean, he damn near a billionaire. It's like it's a lot more that these stars could be doing. You take one brother from the NBA out of each hood, and he go back and develop his hood with all the millions and millions of dollars he made, instead of giving his love to this nation that don't love him. Like, the black community would change.
Right.
I mean, you got basketball, you got football, you got baseball. You know what I mean? And you got other things too, where black people is making millions upon millions of dollars. It's not a lot, but you place these people in hoods where they can impact the hood. Like, that hood is going to impact other hoods.
All right.
You know what I mean? It's like, we live in Indianapolis, like we could impact Greenwood. You know what I mean? We got enough businesses in Indiana. We reaching out to the people in Greenwood. We reaching out to people in I don't know, what's another surrounding one?
No, I don't want to say Noville.
It's all white. It's all devils out there. Yeah. Well, anyway, in Indianapolis, you know what I mean? Lawrence, yeah, Lawrence is a place where there's a lot of black people. Like, it becomes like a what do you call it? Like a snowball effect. You know what I mean? So the impact that they can have is significant. But do they think about, like the Lord say, you're gonna turn away from me, right?
Right.
You with another nation of people, they're gonna turn you away from the Lord. You're not gonna be interested. You think they think about that?
Right.
You think you laying up with your she-devil in the bed? You know what I mean? She doing all kind of nasty, freaky stuff to you. You just in heaven and not even thinking about your people. You don't give a damn about none of that.
Right.
You got it. Mm-hmm.
Listen, man, Pacquiao went back to his country and built 500 homes, 5,000 homes.
I saw that.
Because he used to be homeless as a boxer.
I saw that. Manny Pacquiao. Now look, he's Filipino, right? And you look at somebody like that. Not that I'm praising the Filipinos or anything, but him in particular, that was something great that he did for his people. You know what I mean? And you do have some black, work done. You got work done. He built houses for people all the time. Marshawn Lynch. You do got black people who have money and doing, great things for their people. But imagine if all the rich black people, like them people's rich, but imagine the super rich people doing that for their people. That could be on a grand scale.
Right.
Like, imagine if Oprah gave away all her money to black people and helped start making businesses. Not all her business ventures, because she would still make money, but like her loose change per se, right? And she just built up businesses all around the ghettos in Chicago. And black people start owning land, purchasing businesses, purchasing industry. Like right. that would change Chicago. You know what I mean?
Right.
Where we left off at? I've been running my mouth.
Deuteronomy 7 and 5 we at now.
Okay, I'll take 5.
But thus shall ye deal with them. Ye shall destroy their altars and break down their images.
Oh, go back to 4, Baba Kushah.
Verse 4. Deuteronomy 7 and 4. For they will turn away thy son from following me,
Right.
that they may serve other gods. So will the anger of the Lord be kindled against you and destroy thee suddenly.
Man, the anger of the Lord is kindled against us for this, man. That's why the priests come back into the earth so we can tell Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans, don't lie with any other nation. You got 12 tribes within the nation of Israel. You got your pick of them. Outside of that, you can't have nothing. Why you would ever want a Chinese man, I don't understand. Right. Why you ever want a stinking doodoo eating African, I would never understand. Now you talk about somebody stealing your money. He's got you sending all your money to scams in Nigeria. Who knows? Right. You know what I mean? Let's get verse 5.
Verse 5. But thus shall ye deal with them.
Like if you are now, here's the thing. We get this a lot. We get this a lot in the school. It's like brothers who. This is what I say to brothers in this position. If you're currently married to, somebody from another race, don't let that stop you from coming into the truth, man.
Right.
That's a thing. That's a horrible thing that you did in the world without knowing. But guess what? You can change your life. You can repent for that. You cannot go back and get any more. But that one that you got to keep it, man. You got to keep it. The sisters, you the same. You married to a heathen in the world. Guess what? You got to stay with that heathen. And I know it's a tough thing, but guess what? It's pretty. You damn near you serving the Lord. You know what I mean? You wrapping your head. You calling Esau the devil. You coming to class. That heathen probably not gonna stay with you for too long anyway. Right. And if they leave, that sin be upon them, man. That sin is not upon you. You're not leaving. That's the tough thing for people that find this in the truth when they have a mate that's a heathen. Right. But don't let that deter you, man, because the Lord woke you up to this truth for a reason. If you heard the words of the prophets in the I.S.U.P.K, or if you heard some other fake Israelite group and you found out you was an Israelite through them, and then you found us, just know, man, that it's more valuable for you to come here than to be ashamed of, having sinned in the world. You know what I mean? You got it.
If I could, there's some breaking news that just came out. It's a little off topic, but it's breaking news. 3 New York judges died from coronavirus.
Damn.
Almost 170 court workers infected.
Damn.
New York.
Listen, the Most High is letting loose the COVID-19 all over America, man. New York been catching hell too, by the way.
Right.
New York has been catching hell with COVID-19. They were I think they were the premier hotspot in America, if I'm not mistaken.
I think by now it's the biggest hotspot in the world.
Oh, damn. Okay. Listen, the Lord, you think at one point that America will wake up and say, you know what? Maybe we doing something wrong. Maybe the Lord is punishing us. But we already know from the scriptures with Pharaoh that their hearts are hardened to what's going on. And it's going to take a lot more. You know what I mean? It's going to take a lot more plagues, a lot more destruction from the Lord to come down on America for them to finally say, man, maybe we've sinned. You know what I mean? Maybe we've done something to anger the power of the universe. Right. But that's if the Israelite School Universal Practical Knowledge, we're not excited about that. You know what I mean? That's the Lord's judgment. The Lord's judgment on them. That's, we're not going to revel in the death of these people. But hey, if that was the Lord's judgment, that's the Lord's judgment. Where we left off?
Verse 5. You shall destroy their altars and break down their images.
Right. What is it talking about when it says you shall destroy their altars in today's time, right? You got a heathen in the world, you find the truth, you come into the school, like it's gonna be tough as hell for you. But guess what? You better at least not serve, you better serve the Lord. You know what I'm saying? You better not celebrate Christmas, you better destroy that altar. You better not celebrate Valentine's Day. You better not, think Caesar Borgia is God, is Jesus Christ. You better serve the Lord, even if you got a heathen right now as a mate, right? You find this truth, man. Don't let it prevent you.
Right. And if I could,
you got
another one of their images, which was big, was that Marilyn Monroe. I didn't know why people were so obsessed with that Marilyn Monroe having on T-shirts and this and that. I was like, what's so great about her? You know what I mean? Like they just kept putting her on every shirt.
Right.
For black people, for black girls and stuff to wear.
Yeah, I think, and this is just I don't know this to be fact, but I think because she she was a woman that demanded respect so much so that I think, everybody knows she secretly slept with, John F. Kennedy. And, that's kind of a horse thing. And I think a lot of people are attracted to, women that can do things like that and still be recognized as an idol. I don't get it, but she was a whore nonetheless.
Right.
Was that it on that?
No, it's a little more. And cut down their groves and burn their graven images with fire.
Right. Burn those graven images, man. Burn that Caesar Borgia. You got a heathen and you find out about this truth, man. You better stand up for the Lord, man. He didn't already showed you mercy by showing you the truth, but you gotta do one better, man. You burn down that Caesar Borgia image. I ain't saying set your house on fire. I'm saying don't recognize him as Jesus Christ, right? Jesus Christ was a black man according to the scriptures.
All right.
All right, let's get a First Kings 11:1. 1 Kings 11:1. Interracial marriage. We got to get an example, man. We read how the Lord destroyed the earth because of interracial marriage. Let's get another example that's common. Everybody know about King Solomon. We're gonna get it anyway.
All right.
We can start at verse 1.
1 Kings chapter 11, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
But King Solomon loved many strange women.
He loved what?
Many strange women.
These strange women. That's what people outside of your nation are. They're referred to a lot of times as strange. Like strange meaning the Lord don't know them. The Lord don't know these other nations like that. He damn sure didn't authorize you to sleep with them and make them your mates.
Right.
Go ahead.
Together with the daughter of Pharaoh, women of the Moabites, Ammonites, Edomites, Zidonians, and Hittites.
Man, he had a whole gambit. You know what I mean? He had Chinese, Japanese, white. I can't remember what Zidonians were. Hittites, I believe, were Africans as well. So he had a whole gambit of different, heathen nations that he had.
All right.
Keep going.
Verse 2, of the nations concerning which the Lord said unto the children of Israel, ye shall not go into them.
Right. The Lord said, don't go into those nations. We already read in Malachi 3:6. The Lord said, you can't go into these other nations, man. You Black, Hispanic, and Native American, the only thing that you can have is another Black, Hispanic, and Native American. That's it.
Right.
You can't choose nothing else outside of that. I know it hurts you. Like some of these cats, like I listened to this one cat, who I actually like this cat, Jordan Peele. He married to, I think, some Italian chick with a long nose. You know what I mean? And he, that brother got a lot of talent. He do a lot with movies and TV shows and stuff. And it was something people found out that he was married to the Italian chick, and they was like, well, it's funny. I think Black women do it for the wrong reason. They don't do it to be righteous. They do it, because they jealous or whatever. But they was like, why you ain't got no Black woman? And he was like, I love Black women. They just don't love me. I never could get a Black woman. And I'm like, okay, that's, to me, I seen, not to be unbrotherly, but I seen the worst looking cats get a sister. You know what I mean? Everybody could get a sister. You know what I mean? Maybe you wasn't trying. Maybe you really didn't want it. Is probably more the issue. Is like people who say that they can't get a Black person or a Hispanic person or Native American. It's like you probably really not even trying, man, because it's somebody out here for everybody. You know what I mean? And if anything, if nothing else, man, come to the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. We're gonna hook you up with somebody. You're gonna find a mate in this school for sure.
Right.
Let's keep going.
Ye shall of the nations concerning which the Lord said unto the children of Israel, ye shall not go into them, neither shall they come into you. For surely they will turn away your heart after their gods. And Solomon clave unto these in love.
Wow. So again, we read here again, like you go with these other nations, surely your heart is going to be turned away from the Lord, which is what, like, again, it's like the Lord chose us as a nation. And for you to turn your heart away from him is a slap in his face. It's an insult. That's why he repented to make the earth. He was mad. He was like, man, I should have never made the earth. And so again, here's another example of Solomon, the Lord telling Solomon, like, they're gonna turn your heart away from me.
All right.
Go ahead.
Verse 3. And he had 700 wives.
Ooh, Solomon had his hands full. Solomon had his hands full. 700 wives. I can't imagine. He's seen some of the wives probably once every 10 years or something. Who knows?
Right. He had 700 wives, princesses, and 300 concubines. And his wives turned away his heart.
And they what?
Turned away his heart.
What did the Lord say was going to happen?
Turned away his heart.
That's what the Lord said was going to happen. He said, you get the wives from another nation, they're going to turn away your heart from serving the Lord. Go ahead.
For it came to pass when Solomon was old that his wives turned away his heart after other gods. And his heart was not perfect with the Most High, his power, as was the heart of David, his father.
Right. Keep going.
For Solomon went after Ashtaroth, the goddess of the Zidonians, and after Milcom, the abomination of the Ammonites. And Solomon did evil in the sight of the Lord, and went not fully after the Lord, as did David his father.
Right.
Verse 7. Then did Solomon build an high place for Chemosh, the abomination of Moab, in the hill that is before Jerusalem, and for Molech, the abomination of the children of Ammon.
Notice all these things are abomination, right? All these, anything outside of you serving the Most High, you serving another God, which there is no other gods, there's only idols, right? That's an abomination to the Lord, man. All these things contribute to turning away the heart. Now the Most High destroyed the world, right, because of interracial marriage. Now let's find out what happened for Solomon doing it. Who's the king? He's supposed to be, you know what I mean? Solomon was supposed to be, he had all the wisdom in the world. You understand? He had wisdom. Solomon asked, when the Most High asked Solomon what he wanted, he asked for more wisdom. So Solomon was one of the wisest men on the earth, you know what I mean? If not the wisest man during that time, right? So even with all that wisdom, he still didn't realize what he was doing. He still didn't realize it was a great sin against the Lord. Keep going. Oh, you was going to say something?
Yeah, somebody had a question.
Okay.
Battle, I guess.
Okay.
He said Numbers chapter 20, verse 13 to 16. In Numbers 21, it says, allows Israel to marry heathen women. What's your thoughts on that, Ak?
What's my thoughts? 20 Numbers. Let's get Numbers 20 and 13.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's trying to battle, if it's just a question.
Numbers chapter 20, verse 13. This, Numbers 20, 13. Yeah. This is the water of Meribah, because the children of Israel strove with the Lord, and he was sanctified in them. And Moses sent messengers from Kadesh unto the king of Edom. Thus saith thy brother Israel, thou knowest all the travails that have befallen us, how our fathers went down into Egypt, and we have dwelt in Egypt a long time, and the Egyptians vexed us and our fathers. And when we cried unto the Most High, he heard our voice, and sent an angel, and hath brought us forth out of Egypt. And behold, we are in Kadesh, a city in the uttermost of thy border.
Okay. Numbers 20 through Numbers 20, 13 through 16.
That was verse 16.
Yeah, I don't see anywhere where it talks about anything about marrying heathen women.
And try. He said no battle, just asking.
Okay, yeah, no, I don't see any reference to heathen women at all in those scriptures. You sure you got the right scriptures in there? Because I don't see anything about that unless I'm misunderstanding what your question is.
So like he said Deuteronomy.
Oh, gotcha.
But he typed in numbers, so
okay.
That's why we got
21, 10 through 13.
Dude, he said Deuteronomy chapter 20, verse 13 through 16 is the first one.
Okay.
Deuteronomy 20 and 13. All I can have it.
I'm 12.
Come on. And when the Most High, thy power, hath delivered it into thine hands, thou shalt smite every male thereof with the edge of the sword. But the women and the little ones and the cattle and all that is in the city, even all the spoil thereof, shalt thou take unto thyself. And thou shalt eat the spoil of thy enemies, which the Lord thy God hath given thee. Thou shalt do unto all the cities which are very far off, which are not of the cities of these nations, but of the cities of these people, which the Lord thy God giveth thee for an inheritance. Thou shalt save alive nothing that breatheth.
Okay, again, this would be, that was all of them, right?
For this first.
Yeah, I don't see anything in this one either that references anything about marrying. So you probably got the wrong scripture as far as Deuteronomy 20 and 13 through 16.
I'll go Deuteronomy 21 and 10.
Okay.
When thou goest forth to war against thine enemies, and the Lord thy power hath delivered them into thine hands, and thou hast taken them captive, and seest among the captives a beautiful woman, and hast a desire unto her, that thou wouldest have her to thy wife.
Mm-hmm.
Then thou shalt bring her home to thine house, and she shall shave her head and pare her nails.
Now you got it. Now this is a good question. So this is actually talking about, this is the law of the concubine. So what you gotta realize is that Israel did not become a nation until King David unified Israel, right? So when King Saul was the king, right, who's the first king of Israel, like imagine today. Imagine today. Today you got Israelites, you got blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans running around, doing our own thing, living our own lives. You can't even really compare it to today because, at least we would, we knew that we were a nation. But during this time, we were not organized. We were not together. We didn't have anybody. We had people in leadership positions, but we didn't have a king. We asked for a king. The Lord gave us a king. But even King Saul didn't unify the nation. So it wasn't all the way until King David became king was that he unified the nation. And you go and read how King David, he went to war with Israel. And this is, one of the things that's why we just read in Kings about Solomon, he had 300 concubines. Well, a concubine is a woman from your own nation, right? So the chances of us getting concubines now is zero because we're not going to war amongst, we don't even know we're a damn nation, let alone, to fight each other and kill each other for women, right?
All right.
So that's this right here. We can get a little bit more so we can break it down for the brother though.
Okay. And she shall put the raiment of her captivity from off her.
Right. So you get a woman, right? Imagine you get a woman, or you go to war with a nation, right? You went to war with Israel, right? Like for instance, a lot of times we went to war with Benjamin, or we went to war with Ephraim, right? You see a woman, she's lost, everybody in their damn family, damn near, right? So you get her, she has on attire of her captivity, right? And it says, go again.
From the top
or Salaki, from where you were.
And shall remain in thy house, and bewail her father and her mother a full month.
Right. So you killed her family, right? In war. This was like nothing. This wasn't murder. This was, battle. This was war. You got this sister. She got on the captivity of her raiment. Right. She's given a full month to bewail, meaning to mourn her parents. Right. Go ahead.
And after that, thou shalt go in unto her and be her husband, and she shall be thy wife.
Ooh, that's under sidebar. Sex is marriage, right? It didn't say nothing about you have to have a ceremony or justice of a peace or a chaplain or anything else. It says you're gonna go in unto her, meaning you're gonna have sex with her.
Right.
And that's gonna be your wife. Go ahead.
Verse 14. And it shall be if thou have.
Oh, Salaki, that was his question, all right.
Up to 13. That was his question. He was saying, what's your thoughts on that? That Israel is allowed to marry heathen women.
Right. No, yeah, you want to go back You want to go back and read all of 21. This is talking about the law of the concubine. So this is how you are to deal with women of your own nation who you've conquered and you take, and this is now your woman. Now we read in Deuteronomy 7:3 how you're not allowed to sleep with any other nation. So that's the law regarding interracial marriage. You're not allowed to, even if you go to war with another nation, like say, in the future, Christ came back and we had another nation that tried to rise up against Christ and we went to war, right? Even though they wouldn't, because we would crush them. But if you conquered that people, say you conquered a clan of Edomites, you wouldn't be allowed to take that woman and lie with that woman. That would be against the Lord. She is not considered a concubine. She would be considered a slave, if anything. You are not to sleep with any heathen women. That's a misconception. You look at groups like GMS, they say, yeah, we're gonna conquer these nations and we're gonna sleep with, Ammonites and Moabites, yuck, and Edomites. We're gonna conquer all them and we're gonna sleep with them. No, the Bible says you cannot sleep with a woman from any other nation. So if that, let me know if that answers your question on that.
Person with another question as well.
Okay.
Naquan Raban asked, so like it, sir, if a man has a heathen wife, can he divorce her or have to stay married? Can I have scriptures?
I got good news and bad news, Naquan. You cannot. The good news is, that you're an Israelite and you are asking the question, on how to deal wisely, how to deal right in the eyes of the Lord. So that's the good news, and I'm going to give you the answer. The bad news is, the short answer is you're going to have to keep that woman out. You got to keep that woman. So let's get the scripture. Which one I'm looking for? I want the one in the New Testament. Save adultery.
Okay.
Save adultery. That's a good. It's actually a good question, and I covered it earlier.
Matthew 5:23 is one of them.
Matthew 5:23, is that the one?
There's two of them.
Matthew 9:19.
19 and 9.
19 and 9. I mean, let's get to Matthew 5:23 first. The one that might be the one.
They both basically say the same thing.
Okay. No shit.
Matthew chapter 5 verse 32. Well, I can have it.
Yep.
But I say unto you that whoever divorces his wife for it.
Can you take me up one?
That's not the right verse.
Oh, is it not?
Version Bible. I meant. Let me get the right version. Bible.
Gotcha.
23. But I say unto you.
Can we go one?
You want it 23? Oh wait, what we at again?
32.
32.
Let's go up to 31, Bible shot.
Matthew 5:31. Mm-hmm. It has been said, whosoever shall put away his wife, let him give her a writing of divorcement. Right.
So this is what, and I can't imagine, a brother being, in the position where you learn this truth, and you got a heathen wife. But it's been brothers in the school that have, had heathen wives, and it's something that you can do if you're willing to stand for the Lord. If you're willing to love the Lord, you can do it, and you should do it. And we encourage you to do it. It's going to be a tough road because, again, your woman is going to want to turn your heart away from the Lord, right? You're going to get into battles. And again, with anything, like, I'll say this, if you have specific things that you're going through, you want to contact your camp leader and get counsel. But in general, the answer to the question is in the scriptures. So we're going to bring it out. But what you want to do, man, is stand firm in the Lord, for sure. Let's go.
But I say unto you that whosoever shall put away his wife.
Right. So you might want to get a bill of divorcement, write that and then, say she a heathen and that's it. But that's the Lord. This is Yahushua. Yahushua said this. Go ahead.
Saving for the cause of fornication.
Save fornication, meaning unless she goes out and whores on you. Go ahead.
Causeth her to commit adultery.
Right. You cannot leave that woman. Because say you leave her, right? You leave her, not she leaves you. You put her away, which is a sin. You put her away. Now you're going to cause her to commit adultery. And the Lord doesn't like the putting away of things, right? It doesn't matter what mistake you made when you was in the world. Now that you had His truth, you got to stay with that woman. Save fornication. That's the only reason why you can get rid of that woman. This is what you can do, though. You can keep coming to class, right? You can keep going strong in the Lord. This woman may decide to ride with you anyway. And guess what? That's your wife. You should love her as your wife. You should treat her. You should render due benevolence to her, which is in the scriptures, right? You got to render due kindness unto her. You don't treat her like a dog, even if she's a heathen. You don't spit on her. You don't talk down on her. You treat her like your wife, huh? And that's what it is. It is what it is. Like I think Gen.YAHANNA broke it down. He's like, I sinned when I was in the world too. He's like, I got tattoos. He said, I will never show you my tattoos. You never show me your heathen wife. Just, she's never allowed to come around to any functions, but that's your wife. You love her as such, right? So as far as putting her away, save fornication. That's the only way. Other than that, that's your wife forever. You rock it out, but you grow strong in His truth. You grow strong in the Lord, man. You serve the Lord above all things. Like the scripture say, don't let her or him turn your heart away from the Lord. Don't celebrate anything that's against the Lord. Don't eat anything that's against the Lord. If you got kids with this woman, raise your kids in the fear of the Lord. You know what I mean? Do all those things, you know what I mean, and follow the Lord, and you're gonna be straight. So hopefully that answers your question.
Somebody also had another quick question.
Okay.
He said, Khan, the person we just answered.
Most high praise.
Malachi Thomas asked, quick question. If Esau exclusively chose Hamite women as wives who were colored women, so how did Esau come to be known as the father of the white nation? I'm just confused about who is Esau today, but any great teaching on today's topic.
But what was that last part?
But any great teaching on today's topic, I think he's saying, but anyway, great teaching on today's topic.
Oh, most high in Christ. So Esau is definitely what you would consider the white man today. And you get, I mean, the whole color part is not important, right? Esau is not Esau because he is white. Esau is Esau because of who he is, you know what I mean? And his, his what's a good way to say it? He is who he is because of his decisions, you know what I mean? So the color white has nothing to do with it. But if you just kind of wanted to look at a color aspect, you could have two niggas look dark as me and have a kid that's damn near white, you know what I mean? So the color point of it is pretty much irrelevant. You can get all kind of, what's the Punnett square? I remember learning about the Punnett square in college, how you get these dominant genes and recessive or dominant traits and recessive traits, and you get enough of those recessive traits and you can you mess around and have a blonde hair blue-eyed baby damn near from two niggas dark. So you was gonna say something?
If you look at the basketball player Blake Griffin, his dad is black, his mom is white. He came out looking super white looking. Let's say he sleeps with his cousin, or his son is like even more white looking.
He is.
Look at the same with Drake.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And them is so-called black men. So let alone Esau's real gene in there. Sleeping with black women, have kids, and then them kids sleep with each other because that was our culture.
Right.
So they would, they would staying the same. So like you say, he got 3 sons. I think he had a couple sons. They have kids. Them kids going to sleep with each other. That same trait going to stay strong. It ain't going to dilute because especially coming from the main motherfucker, the main.
Right. Right. Let me get Genesis 25 and 25. We'll get a scripture for the brother. But basically, what I'm trying to say is the color aspect doesn't. You don't want to focus on color too much because that's what black folks do. They look at people in our school and they'll say, yo, this person can't be an Israelite because they white, when like being a complexion doesn't have anything to do with it. Complexion has zero impact on whether you're an Israelite or not. Israelite is based on the bloodline. And so there's somebody out there. Okay. So Esau, Say that again.
Pizza.
Pizza man, he need to come here.
Next door.
It's like, Selma Hayek. No, I don't think Selma Hayek is Israel. I'm pretty sure I read that she was a heathen. But we're gonna get this scripture. This is gonna show you what makes Esau.
Genesis 25 and you want 25?
Should we start up soon?
20 wherever, it's all good on this. Start 22 is good.
Okay.
Genesis 25 and 22.
All
and
right.
the children struggled together within her.
All right. So this is how Esau came about, right? So you don't want to focus on his complexion and him being white today, right? That him being white has nothing to do with it, because again, we have people in our school that's very light complexion, and that don't make them Edomites. So yes, he's what we say white in these days, because most people understand them as being white. When we say Esau, Edomite, or Idumea, people don't know who we're talking about. And that is their characteristic today. But it's not all their characteristics. Some of them are a little darker. You know what I mean? Some of them are really pale and pasty. So they have a small range as well. Go ahead.
But if I could, what you bring out is heavy. Some of them Palestinians and the Arab-looking people are whites.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think that was. I didn't know that. I think Commander GEN.YAHANNA said that Iranians, as a nation, are Edomites. I was like, damn, that blew me away.
And the upper class was all Edomites.
Right.
They had like a caste system.
Right.
Because there's multiple ethnicities there.
Right.
But the ruling class was Edomites. They had like Queen of England. You know how the Queen of England got all that jewels and got a whole palace with all the other whites?
Mm-hmm.
They had that whole scenario going on in Iran, ruling Iran, but that's what pushed them out during that hostage crisis thing. Mm-hmm. That's when the other people there kicked the ruling class out. Mm. The ruling class got a name of them. I think they're called the Alawites.
Wow.
The Alawites. And they were on the run and stuff like that. But they had a whole ruling class,
Iranians. Hey, that's something to go and research for everybody watching. It's good to get, before we get into the scripture, I just want to sidebar. It's good to get into kind of the history of some of these nations, because the people who you think, like, for instance, obviously the most obvious one is Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, right? You go back, and if I could, Captain Katazar did the 12 tribe, lecture,
right?
With a ton of proof. Like, you always thought that, you was just a nigga that came from Africa and was a slave, and that was it. Turn to find out, it's based on, archaeology, based on history, based on the Bible. Same thing with, the Native Americans. Same thing with all the, the Hispanics in North, Central, and South America. Doing research on these nations. Today we're just kind of force-fed stuff. You white, you black, you Mexican. That's it. But there's a history behind all the people. The 18 nations that's on the earth today were on the earth during the biblical times. And you can go back and you start peeling back the layers of the onion. You can find more details about these nations. So let's get that scripture.
And the children struggled together within her, and she said, "If it be so, why am I thus?"
So this is his mother. This is Sarah? Not Sarah. Rebecca. Salakia. This is Rebecca, right? So she's pregnant, and she's having a lot of pain, right? That's why she asked the Lord, "Why am I thus?" The Lord said, 2 nations are in thy womb, right? So how many people can you say, has 2 nations in thy womb? Right. Meaning these people that these babies that you have in your belly are going to be 2 different people. They're totally separate. They're not the same. Usually when you got, a kid in the belly, that's, and you got twins, they're considered the same. They're part of the family. Everything's all good. But the Lord told her this: 2 nations, 2 different manner of people. Go ahead.
Are in thy womb.
Mm-hmm.
And 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels.
Say that again.
2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels.
These babies are different. These babies are not the same. I think that's what jam a lot of people up. When I listen to the conscious community, or the so-called conscious community, they have a huge issue with this. They have a huge issue understanding this concept. But the Bible is not, you're not confused in what the Bible is saying. You just don't want to believe it, right? Not talking about you, the brother that asked the question, talking about people who read this and they don't want to get it. It's not that you don't understand what the Bible is saying. You just don't want to believe it. These people that's in that room, they're going to be two different manner of people. It ain't that hard to believe. Like, black people got soul, white people don't. They ain't dancing and, you know, singing like us unless they've been in the hood like that. Very few of them got the talents that we got, like natural talents, as far as dancing and singing. Cooking, they not cooking. They not cooking like we cooking with all the flavor and all the soul. They not, you know, they don't have this, they not dressing like you dress. They got on penny loafers and slacks and they roll them up at the bottom and they, you know, they button their shirt all the way up at the top. They real corny and dry like that. Black people swag out anything. You get a black man and white man the same outfit, black man is gonna rock it in such a way you're gonna be like, damn, yo, that's fresh. It looked kind of corny at first, but I'm gonna have to pick it up. You give it to Johnny, and Johnny is looking like Johnny. He's looking like Johnny, Bill, Ted, Bob. They all look the same. They wear it all the same way. Tuck in those loafers, wear that belt, boom, button up at the top. That's you know what I'm saying? It's two different manner of people. So this is the beginning of it. Keep going.
We also have another question on here too when you want to get to it.
Okay.
And time check 15 minutes.
Oh, sorry.
And the one people shall be stronger than the other people.
Oh man, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are damn sure stronger. Like, and not just physically stronger. Look at this. Look at the things that we go through. We can bear more burden than they can bear. You think a white man can live in the ghetto like this? You see white people in the ghetto like this, they usually super destroyed. But black people, they be thriving in the ghettos. Black people live in the ghettos. They whole damn life and live and survive and raise families in poverty. And that's the power of black. When it's like black people, like one shall be stronger than the other, not just physically, spiritually. We're spiritually stronger as a people than them by far. You just want to say something?
And what you bring out so heavy is that about the ghetto, because when you see poor whites, they always like look dirty and dress. They usually don't dress nice. Mm-hmm. You know, they kind of embrace being poor.
Right.
Even poor black. But when you go to poor blacks, you can see some poor blacks. You might not even know that they were so poor because they still dress nice. They might have some jewelry. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Their hair be done. Mm-hmm. You know, they have some oil on their skin. All of that. They don't look like somebody who, you know, you go to their house and they, you know, it's falling apart. Right. But you'd be like, hey, he looks still good. You know, he ain't looking like, you know, in distress and the rest.
He's living check to check, but they trying to thrive. Whereas like when even like you look at other nations like Arabs, they go through the oppression that we go through. They blowing up something. Right. They not standing for the oppression. They can't bear the burden of slavery. You think them Edomites can bear the burden of slavery? They not gonna spend one day in that hot sun down in the south picking cotton. Right. They is gonna fry and listen. You know, looking like lobsters out in that joint.
And if I could, if you ever work in certain jobs and you see a devil who has he's working on like similar station as blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, he's usually stressed, overworked. He looks all like jacked up in this. He's all frantic and. You know what I mean? It's hard. He can't deal with it like that. It's hard for him to deal with it. Right. With what's going on.
Right. Oh, keep going.
Verse 24. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. Verse 25. And the first came out red.
The first one came out red. A lot of people in history said, you know, in American history said the red man was the Native American. Native American is not a red man. Right. Red meaning the blood is showing forth through your skin. That's the red man. That's a man that you can see his blood showing forth through his skin. That's an Edomite.
Right.
Go ahead.
All over like a hairy garment.
Like a hairy garment. You see some of these Edomites and they like, you look at their backs and it's like, you look like a damn chinchilla. You look like you're wearing a chinchilla fur. Right. You look like you got on a fur coat. You know what I mean? And that's their characteristics. Again, we always refer to the Neanderthals. You see any picture of a Neanderthal, they hairy all over. You know what I mean? It's the Geico commercial. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead. Was that it?
That's it on Esau.
All right, so that's Esau. You know what I mean?
You get some of the characteristics of Esau if you want to go there.
Yeah, just a little bit, maybe.
Verse 27. And the boys grew. And Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field.
Listen. If that don't tell you, okay, man of the field alone should tell you Like Cunning Hunter is another good one, but man of the field, Esau loved being in the field. Like to try to get Jake to go hunting, like he gotta have, you know what I mean? He's just not feeling it. You know what I'm saying? Like once if you grew up in the South, you might be a little bit more accustomed to it. But as far as you know, you take most black people who grew up in cities, take them hunting, it's like, it's all right, but I'm one and done. You know what I'm saying? Esau is a man of the field. He loved being in the field. He loved camping. He loved hunting. He loved fishing. He loved all this outdoor stuff where he can be in the hood hunting and killing something. It says he's a cunning hunter, meaning like that's one of their primary things that they do. And they even do it today. Like if they can't go to the field and hunt, they're going to go to the hood and hunt. Right. You see the whole lust, the bloodlust in them, the desire to kill in the hood. They don't have compassion on black people. That's why, as a sidebar, that's why you have to police your own nation. You can't have another nation of people policing over you because they have a bloodlust against you, and it's biblical. Like they're not going to have the compassion that you have. Like Devontae over there. You know what I'm saying? His grandma is raising him. You know what I mean? He got kicked out of school because bullies jumped him. He had to defend himself. You know what I mean? His grandpa just died last week. You know what I mean? The reason why he got into a fight and bust out this window because he's angry and he's poor and you got to give him the benefit of the doubt. Like you can have that compassion on black people, but Esau, they not gonna have that compassion because why? They live in a whole nother city. They driving over here 30-40 minutes an hour to come down and deal with these animals, these monkeys, these gorillas down in this jungle. They don't know nothing about your life, man. They can't. Their lives don't compare to your life. You know what I mean? You was gonna say something?
If I could, what you bring out is heavy about them loving the field because I was watching a show on TV where they were in Antarctica. It was some white people in Antarctica, and they were going under you had the ice, and they were going in a cave, and you had to crawl through to get in hundreds, they was talking deep under it, and it was ice all over the ceiling. They in that cave, and I'm like, why do you want to go down there? Because if ice bust, you done. Right. You're gonna you fall like in the movies. They fall, and then they in the cave for 2 days or 3 weeks trying to call for help and trying to make a big scene. But they should have been in there in the first place.
Damn that.
That's how it feel. Black people is not about to go to Antarctica to go in the ice cave to explore it and see how it changed.
Right. No, that's right.
There's no point for that.
That's right. They like that adventuring. They like all that. They're kind of like, they whole we live a life where we already live life on the edge. Everything to us is a challenge. They live a life where they got to seek challenges and seek adventure. We don't, we're not necessarily looking for that. We two manner of people, man.
Right. And Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents.
Dwelling in what?
In tents.
Man, what we doing? Let's go to the crib. Right? We about to put some meat on the grill, slap some bones, have some drink. Right. Then I'm kicking y'all out in a little bit. I'm trying to lay up with my woman. You know what I'm saying? Right. We are men. Listen, that's Jacob all the way, man. You blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. That's why a lot of times when we're talking about people in the world, we say Jakes. Jake, short for Jacob. You know what I mean? Is that it on it?
That's it on. Unless you want to get into what he ate. There was a question online.
Okay.
Naquan Bun Rob Bun asked, how can I prove to fake camps like IUIC that our people ain't in Africa? Baba Bashar.
Oh, man. Well, there's so many ways I can go with this question. Here's the thing you got to know about IUIC. I know they have a lot of members. I know they look good in purple, and I know that people look to them as not saying you, but I know that people look to them as the bar that's set for a Hebrew Israelite, right? IUIC is not in the truth. They don't have the truth. They do not serve the Lord. You understand? IUIC is not the men of the Lord. They're not the people that you should be looking to. So to prove anything to them is a waste of time because their doctrine is totally different from yours, right? If you're learning in the Israelite school, universal practical knowledge, you don't believe what they believe. So to try to convince them to what you believe is kind of a waste of time. But to edify you, I'm going to give you the answer one way how you can do it. But here's the thing. They're going to Africa because they're homosexual. Not all of them, but some of them are homosexual. And in Africa, you can have free range with African children. You go in there, and Africa also has a ton of money that they can give to people to make. Have you ever seen Africans go online and look at African videos? and see how demonic they get about Christianity, about how they get about religion. Like, you know, Africans have a thing where they will follow, like a lot of that old witch doctor and, you know, all that kind of voodooish type stuff. They get real heavy into that. That's why you see a lot of those heathen customs. They shower in cow's piss. They put their face, you know, right up in the cow's behind. They do all kind of weird and crazy stuff. You know, you gonna say something?
Yeah, if I could, would you bring out heavy? They do heavy, crazy stuff, eating babies and stuff like that when
Right.
they go to battle. And,
Right.
And out of all the Africans in the whole continent, IUIC elder found the one guy named General Butt Naked.
Right. Oh my goodness.
Out of the whole island, you had to find a guy
Right.
named Mr. Butt Naked, huh?
Right. Yeah.
That lets you know what they're over there for. He said, "Whoo, we need to go to him."
Butt naked. You know something freaky and nasty is about to go over there. But I'm not bashing them brothers. I'm just telling you, listen, them brothers is not in the truth, right? Them brothers don't have the truth. If you want the truth, come to the school, right? Come to the school, man. Get all the way in the school. Don't worry about battling them. But for your own edification, let's get Ham in the Bible dictionary. Now, also to answer your question, there are Israelites in Africa. The Bible says Israelites are scattered to the four corners of the earth. So that is, you have Israelites everywhere. You have Israelites in you know, in the Philippines. You have Israelites in China. You have Israelites probably down in Australia. Israelites are everywhere.
Yeah, if I could, would you bring out heavy? I don't feel like I want to keep.
No, you got it.
In Liberia, parts of Liberia and Monrovia, they were settlements set up by blacks from America.
Mm-hmm.
That United States government set up settlements in Africa
Mm-hmm.
in the 1800s and the 1900s,
Mm-hmm.
trying to make settlements in Africa to like make them just doing different stuff,
Mm-hmm.
like trying to make them into more like blacks and slaves and make settlements. And so even that dude with the boat with the Starliner, Marcus Garvey brought some blacks over there. So there have been multiple settlements of blacks who went over there.
Right.
Now, if you follow some of the settlements, like the one in Monrovia, Liberia, it was horrible. Like blacks went over there, and immediately it became a civil war between blacks and the Africans there.
Right.
They were cutting our babies open and eating them, and shooting us down and killing us. They had leaders stepping up. It was like a lot of some of them scenes you see where they run around the streets with a big super gun shooting in the streets. A lot of them scenes come from the civil wars that's over there now for blacks and Africans, and even now it's still a powder keg location. Like you can go over there and battles could erupt because they're in the jungles. Different groups got to get pushed out to the jungles. They could erupt and come in and start killing people in the villages and the towns any moment now. And a lot of those are descendants of black people who went back over there.
And what the brother bringing out, I read a book on it, and it's like, so America, a part of this, not all of it, but a part of this was America after they ended slavery in 1865. There was a movement, there was a huge movement to send black people back to Africa, right?
Right.
And so when they made this movement, they tried to establish colonies like the brother was bringing out. But the problem is, when we were over there, we were not welcome over there at the time that we were there. So damn sure when we tried to go back, we still wouldn't be welcome, because when we fled into Africa under persecution of the Roman Empire, which you can read that in Babylon to Timbuktu, right? We had to basically plot some land. Now imagine you just pop up nowhere, right? Here's even a common day thing. Move to a new hood where like it's very hood oriented. They're gonna be like, nigga, who is you?
Right.
Where you come from? Who your grandma? Where your people's at? Your people's from around here? You're not from around here.
Right.
This our set. You know what I'm saying? We the rolling 80s. You can't just pop up over here. You got to die.
Right.
And that's the whole thing about like Africans. We came onto African soil and we are not African. And that's even in those settlements like the brother was bringing out. We were dying, and still you will find traces of us we are not equal to Africans. But what I wanted to get so to answer your question, there will be remnants of black people everywhere. There'll be remnants of us in Europe, in Asia, and you know what I'm saying, Australia and Africa, all over. We're gonna be all over. So IUIC is not wrong because they're going, because let me word it very carefully. There are Israelites in Africa, but are they there for the Israelites? No, they're not there for the Israelites in Africa.
Right.
They're there because there's benefits for them being there by either gaining money or indulging in some type of lust. Because if that was the case, they would focus their efforts mainly in our mass captivity, right? We know from the scriptures that the 10 tribes, for damn sure, fled into a land that no man had known, which would be North Central South America, right? So the bulk of them is here, and then that Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, where they at. They the same place, North Central South America and the Caribbean islands. So the bulk of Israel is over here. This is the land of our captivity. That's why the Lord said He's going to take us out of the land of the north. Which is talking about this North America, and obviously Central and South America is included. But that's not why they're there. They're not there because they're trying to save, some remnant of people. And if they are, man, they misguided in that sense. So to prove to them, your question specifically was, how can I prove to fake camps that like IUIC that our people ain't in Africa? So you can't really prove that our people ain't in Africa because you will have remnants of Israel anywhere. I think the thing that you got to realize is that they are, like you said, they're a fake Israelite group. And I really wouldn't focus my time on them. I really wouldn't. It's kind of a thing where they're gonna do what they want to do. Just like GMS is gonna continue to prove, try to prove that rape is lawful. Like it's
right.
You can't get around you can't force somebody to believe something different. If that makes sense. So I hope that answers your question. It's probably not the answer that you're looking for, but honestly, I wouldn't waste any time on them. And if you got a brother that you're talking to from IUIC and he believed that he going over there to save Israelites, Lord be with him. You know what I'm saying? Let him do his thing. But we got real life niggas over here in the ghetto today.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We ain't got to search for niggas, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans over here.
Right.
We know where they at. We see them every goddamn day, and we trying to get them. If we can get them, then we can start venturing out. We got plenty of work over here. We don't need to go nowhere else to do no work. We got them we got them next door. We got them next door, and they won't believe us. We got them in our own family, all right? Your own family. You talk about why you want to travel that far when you got them in your family? Let's get them. Let's get the niggas off the street. Then we can worry about them cats over there in Africa. You know what I'm saying? Look, hey, listen. If it's meant for them to have it, the Lord will carry it over there, and they'll get it. They will get it.
Right.
So that was it on that. He had something else too. Look like I.S.U.P.K is who I follow. Just go to school with a few of them. They say I'm stupid for following the I.S.U.P.K. Hey, Lord be with them. You know what I'm saying? The Lord be with them. Listen. You know what you learning here. You know just the caliber of men. You know what I mean? And I don't know how long you've been around, so you might not know us as well. But just what I'm saying, you rock with us, man. You'll see a clear difference between us. You'll see that we're not in the game to go to Africa to seek money from Africans. We're not in the game to, try to come up and sleep with African children or do anything that's lascivious. You know what I mean? Right. Our intent is to raise up our people. So outside of that, whatever they're doing over there, who knows? He's gonna say something.
And if I could, what you was bringing out so heavy is it's no use in really battling them because if I could bring out one scripture.
You got it.
In Matthew 7:24, it says, therefore, whosoever heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them, I would liken to a wise man which built his house upon a rock. And the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat upon that house, and it fell not, for it was founded on a rock.
Listen, that's heavy with the scripture the brother pulled. He said, this foundation right here, okay, you can be founded in a lot of things, right? You can be founded on some, on some muddy land. You can be founded on, some stone, like the scripture say, right? Them cats over there, they founded they founded after their lust. Their whole foundation is built on what they want to look good to the public. They want to look calming. That purple and gold, I'm gonna be honest. When I first started learning about the truth, I was like, yeah, them cats in purple and gold, there's a lot of them. I might get down. That's the immediate impression, right? The immediate impression is them cats look real clean, right? They founded on something that looks very pleasing to the eye, but they're not founded on the truth. You got it.
And everyone that heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them not shall be like unto a foolish man, which built his house upon the sand. And the rain descended, the floods came, and the winds blew and beat upon that house, and it fell, and great was the fall of it.
Great was the fall. Great is going to be the fall of the IUIC and any other fake Israelite group. Right. Any other fake Israelite group, man. Any group outside of the Israelite school, universal practical knowledge is going to fall, and it's going to fall hard. And we revel in the day that we are, when the truth comes out. Like a lot of people say we ain't got the truth. We look forward to the day where we can say, hey, now's the time. Now who was right? You know what I mean?
Right. And if you battling them or they, talking to you about something, you can just cut them and start saying, look, y'all group gonna fall or gonna fade away anyway. There was a whole bunch of Israelite groups, but after the ISUPK and they all gone and fading away. IUIC gonna fade away and fall off. Right. ISUPK is the only one that started it, and we're gonna be the ones that end it. We've been here for 50 years. You guys are just like a new upcoming group. You know what I mean? Because that's what IUIC is. They're like a new upstart group. You know what I mean? It's like 10 years old. The ISUPK is 50 years old, and we the foundation. So, and there's been other groups big like IUIC before IUIC. You know what I mean? You had GOCC that was real big. You had other groups that was real big before, like in New York, when it was still in New York. ICGJC, like groups that were huge, and where they at now, they fell, and great was the fall of that house, and now it's nothing. Right. So IUIC is just going to fall off eventually. Yeah. Just let some more. I mean, they already had a sister get killed. They had some gays coming out. You know what I mean? Once they, they leader was sending dick pics. Listen, I mean,
hey, listen, the scandals by themselves between Nathaniel arresting innocent black men, right, between Joy Morgan, right, between the brother shooting the transvestite in the face. You know what I mean? Between them saying that they gonna turn you in for a for the reward for a warrant. Like, it's so many scandals there. It's like, it's not even, honestly, I feel you because you're probably young and you full of zeal and want to, battle them. It's not even worth it, man. Let them. The best thing to do with those brothers is just, just live your life righteously. You know what I'm saying? Let them see you live your life. Let them get, shape ups like they all get. Let them, sleep with little boys. If that's who gives a damn what they do. The most important thing is for you to be in here and learn from us, like you said you was doing, which is so right, man. And damn everybody else, man. All these other groups got something that they think is right. But in the end, we're gonna see.
There's one more question on here too.
One more time, Chris. We'll take that, then we'll wrap it up.
Lakam asked, Shalom, sir, Salakia. If a brother don't believe the Bible, but is always saying the black woman is God, what is the best way to cut him to kill the argument while making him think?
Man, if he don't believe in the Bible, then it's kind of like a mute. It's a mute point. You can't. Okay, it's like saying. It's like saying you want to argue somebody about the Big Bang Theory, but they believe in God, right? So it don't really match. You can't really argue somebody that don't believe what you believe. You can try to convert them, but somebody will never convert to what you believe if they believe something totally different. So if somebody believes black man is God, you got to start showing them examples of how the black woman. You got to first define God. What is a God, right? If the black woman is God, then she should be able to do all the things a God can do. And if she can't do all the things a God can do, then guess what? She's not a God, right? So and I'm gonna come to you. And like if he believes like she can do all the things that a God can do, then maybe his definition of God is different from yours. Because when I think of God, I think of now I know God is a title, right? Yahweh is his name. Yahweh, the Lord, what I'm saying, is the power of the universe. He can do anything he wants to do, right? But a black woman, cannot. She has to go to work. Why can't she just create money out the sky and live off the earth?
Right.
Why can't she just, say something and make it appear? Like, again, you talking to somebody who's damn near a nut. Like somebody who says a black woman is God. If she's God, why does she has to go to work? Why does she has to go to sleep? Why does she have to eat? Why does she have to do all these, earthly things? It's an asinine argument, basically, is what I'm trying to say. You gonna say something?
Right. If I could, one way to deal with certain battles especially when they coming like this, is you like how Gen.YAHANNA would say, you disrespect the battle, the argument, make it a joke. So God be on the toilet taking a shit. That's what you telling me? And then the guy gets up and wipes his ass?
Right.
What if God run out of toilet paper?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Does God fart and burp?
That's funny.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you could just, you know, disrespect the argument in different, in whatever way. You know what I mean? Like, you know, how's black woman God when, you know, shit, I seen her sucking, you know, rod in the corner on the alleyway.
It's asinine because it's like she has to go to sleep.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The Lord don't sleep. In fact, the Bible say that the Lord, you know, that a day is unto 1,000 days. A day is unto 1,000 years. So I'm saying it wrong. I'm paraphrasing it wrong. A day is unto 1,000 days or years unto the Lord.
Oh damn!
So like anyway, listen. The Lord can do amazing, great, and wonderful things. He's God. He can do all things. It says He created, you know what I'm saying, the earth. You know what I'm saying? He put all these things into play. What has the black woman done to prove that she's God?
Right.
She birthed a black man. Oh, okay. Well, if that's the case, you know, an Edomite is a woman is a God. She birthed a black man too.
Right.
Can you not have a you know, a child by a white woman? Does that make her God? What makes the black woman God? Right. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
And if I could, just remind me of a funny skit. I don't know if we could have this.
Yeah.
they had the black dude playing Thor, and he kept saying, "Man, I'm a god. I don't have to deal with this. Man, I'm a god."
Right.
But they went to fight Thanos and got beat up.
Right.
And they was arguing after the fight, and he was like, "Man, I'm a god." He was like, "Shoot, if God's out there getting rocked like that, then I must be a god." I beat up by Thanos.
Hey, if the black woman is out there on food stamps like that, man, I must be a god. I must be a god. You know what I'm saying? Right. She on there getting her ass whipped on World Star, man. Right. So what she must have came up with a more powerful god then. What is it? They all God? How many gods you need? Listen, my point is, man, that's an asinine argument. It's like the brother asked with IUIC. It's some arguments, it's just not. Sometimes you just gotta say, let the brother be or let the sister be, because there's no way you can win an argument with a fool. What's the one? This is one last scripture. I'm gonna close it out. Don't argue with. It's like don't argue with fools. Salakia. Proverbs 26:4. Yeah. Get that real quick.
I'll go ahead and read it.
Yep.
I got it. Proverbs 26:4. Answer not a fool according to his folly.
Listen, don't answer these fools, man, in their folly. Listen, if a black, it's so many reasons to say to, you know, just common, there's no science, there's no, you know, history, there's no archaeology. There's so many reasons to confirm that a black woman is not God. Like she didn't create. What did she create? What, you know, why does she eat? Why does she slip? Like the brother was saying, why she on the toilet? Why she got to use the toilet? She wiping her behind. Right. What if she run out of tissue? Right. There's so many things to say. That's, you know, don't answer a fool. Don't argue with a fool, man. That's folly, man. That's ridiculous. Go ahead.
Lest thou also be like unto him.
Listen, you'll be trying to figure out different ways how to cut, you know, IUIC and how to cut, you know, this black woman is God doctrine, and you'll get caught up in the hype behind it, man, when it's all folly. It's all nonsense. Right. These fools do not have the truth. Black woman is not God. Don't get caught up in the folly behind this. You know, just based on common sense that the black woman is not God. Because if she was God, I would say, Salakia, God, could you make me some dinner? And she'll snap her fingers instead of you got to wait damn 2-3 hours to eat. You know what I'm saying? That's, you know, she wouldn't need a man. Why she need a man? She wouldn't want a man if she was God. IUIC, if they had the truth, all them Africans would be saved already. All right. The hell with IUIC, man. Damn IUIC. Salakia, y'all come to the Passover though. Was that it on it?
He said Khan, LMAO, and nothing on. Somebody said 1,000 years for us is as one day to the Most High.
Right, that's it. I was paraphrasing it wrong. Most High. Who said that?
Hopkinsville, Kentucky Israelites.
I.S.U.P.K. Mm-hmm. I can still be saying that brother's name wrong. Most High in Christ. All right, so with that, I'm gonna pass the class over to class.
I.S.U.P.K. security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K. Started out at 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for a new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers 18 to 21, Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 through 10, means tenth in the Hebrew, ma'ashra. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations, Passover, coming up. Make sure you're ready. You know what I mean? It's most likely as soon as New York calm down with the coronavirus, that's most likely when we're going to have the Passover. Right now, the Lord is still judging these heathens, so it's not our time yet. It's time for the Lord to keep destroying these heathens. But everybody will be made known when the new Passover date will be. It may be, it could be June, July, August, whatever time New York open back up. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black, boots, shirt, pant, headband, and scarf. And with that, Amajim Wakwan Hakidam, which means rise and face the east. We're going to do Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kwadash, Ayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malak with God, Taba'ah, Watazaka, Ayah, Aisha, Raha Ataza, Kawa, Ayah, Bashamayim, Nathanawa, Lakam, Kal, Yawam, Wasalaknawa, Kabwatnawa, Kasalaknawa, Kabwatnawa, Wala'a, Tabiyanawa, Panasar 1, Abba, Awashayanawa, Mayan, Rad, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Wahala, Watapara, Waiwalanyam, Aman. In English. Our Father which art in heaven. Hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. On earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. And forgive us our debts. As we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation. But deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom. And the power. And the glory. Forever. So be it. Prayer for the Hakat, the power in the Hebrew. Yahweh. Ba'ashem Yahushai. Babu Kushab. Nathanawa. Hakat. Larapa'ah. Kalmakala. Wakalmadawa. Hakat. Latahar. Hamatazarayim. Hakat. Lahakwim. Amathium. Hakat. Our Karawat. Hatama Allah. Lagarshan. Ba'ashem Yahushai. The water Aman. In English. Yahweh. In the name of Yahushai. Please give us the power. The power to heal. All manner of sickness. And all manner of disease. The power to cleanse the lepers. The power to raise the dead. The power against unclean spirits. To cast them out. In the name of Yahushai. Thank you. So be it. The blessings in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh. Wa Yahweh Shai. Wa Mayaka Allah. Wa Alahayim. Mataz Abiyah. Alawap Yahanna. Ha Alawapyam. Ha Saranyam. Ha Kutazayanyam. Ha Kayayoyam. Wa Hakwathian. Yahweh. Ba'ashem Yahushai. The water Aman. In the English, bless you, Yahweh. and Yahushua,
and Yahushua,
and Michael,
and Michael,
and the angels,
and the angels,
Commanding General Yahanna,
commanding General Yahanna,
the generals,
the generals,
the captains,
the captains,
the officers,
the officers,
the troopers,
the troopers,
and the sisters,
and the sisters,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
in the name of Yahushua,
in the name of Yahushua.
thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it.
The anointing prayer in the Hebrew. Yabaraka, Yabaraka Yahweh,
Yabaraka Yahweh,
Washamaraka,
Washamaraka,
Ya'or Yahweh,
Ya'ar Yahweh,
Panyawa,
Panyawa,
Alyaka,
Alyaka,
Wayakanka,
Wayakanka,
Yasha,
Yasha,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Panyawa,
Panyawa,
Alyaka,
Alyaka,
Wayashamlaka,
Wayashamlaka,
Shalom,
Shalom,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Ba'ashim Yahushua,
Ba'ashim Yahushua,
Barak,
Barak,
Rapah,
Rapah,
Magan,
Magun,
Agan,
Agun,
the Thurman family.
the Thurman family,
Oh, Salah. Go ahead.
all destroyed of Israel.
All destroyed of Israel.
Done.
The Thurman family.
The Thurman family,
The Sutton family.
the Sumner family,
The Hill family.
the Hill family,
All destroyed of Israel.
all destroyed of Israel.
Ba'ashim Yahushua,
Ba'ashim Yahushua,
the water of month.
the water of month.
In the English, Yahweh,
Yahweh,
bless thee and keep thee.
bless thee and keep thee.
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
make his face shine upon thee,
make his face shine upon thee,
and be gracious unto thee.
and be gracious unto thee.
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
lift up his countenance upon thee,
lift up his countenance upon thee,
and give thee peace.
and give thee peace.
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
in the name of Yahushua,
in the name of Yahushua,
bless,
bless,
heal,
heal,
shield,
shield,
protect.
protect.
Names of lovers with his names. I.S.U.P.K. curses. Blessed are you, Yahweh.
Blessed are you, Yahweh,
King of heaven and earth.
King of heaven and earth,
And all things living.
and all things living.
Yahweh.
Yahweh,
In the name of Yahushua.
in the name of Yahushua,
Listen to us now.
listen to us now,
Right now.
right now.
Send evils and curses.
Send evils and curses,
And punishment and destruction.
and punishment and destruction
To the heathen.
to the heathens
That speak against us.
that speak against us.
Thy prophets.
Thy prophets,
The teachers.
the teachers,
The princes.
the princes,
The priests.
the priests,
The Israelite brothers.
the Israelite brothers,
And the school.
and the school.
Send evils and curses.
Send evils and curses,
And punishment and destruction.
and punishment and destruction
To the heathen.
to the heathen,
And shake loose the treasure.
and shake loose the treasure
Of the rich of Israel.
of the rich of Israel
That refuse to give to the school.
that refuse to give to the school.
Force their riches.
Force their riches
To enter into thy sanctuary.
to enter thy sanctuary.
Send evils and curses.
Send evils and curses,
And punishment and destruction.
and punishment and destruction
To the Edomites.
to the Edomites,
And the nations.
and the nations,
And their drug dealers.
and their drug dealers,
The court
the
system.
court
The
system,
prison
the
system.
prison system,
Planned Parenthood.
Planned Parenthood,
All the governments of our enemies.
all the governments of our enemies,
Amalek synagogues and armies.
Amalek synagogues and armies,
Roman Catholic Church.
Roman Catholic Church,
The Pope.
the Pope,
Islam.
Islam,
Christianity.
Christianity,
Egyptology.
Egyptology,
Militia.
militia,
Ku Klux Klan.
Ku Klux Klan,
Aryan Nation.
Aryan Nation,
Skinheads.
skinheads,
Posse Comitatus.
Posse Comitatus,
The gay movement.
the gay
The
movement,
lesbian
the
movement.
lesbian movement,
Spies.
spies,
Workers of witchcraft.
workers of witchcraft,
NASA space program.
NASA space program,
Army.
Army,
Navy.
Navy,
Air Force.
Air Force,
Marines.
Marines,
Wall Street.
Wall Street.
Open up the internet.
Open up the internet
And the airwaves.
and the airwaves,
Cable access
the
channels.
cable access channels,
And the radio channels.
and the radio channels.
Convict the spirit
Convict the spirit
of any of thy people
of any of thy people
that seek to stop
that
us
seek to stop us
and bring swift destruction
and bring swift destruction
to all the heathen
to all the heathen
that stand in the way
that stand in the way
or try to stop us
or try to stop us
from broadcasting your
from
words
broadcasting your word
throughout the planet Earth.
throughout the planet Earth.
Let loose all the plagues.
Let loose all the plagues,
Cause them to go
cause them to go
to and fro
to and fro
through the earth
through the earth
and consume them.
and consume them.
Let the plagues
Let the plagues
shake
shake
the house of the thief
the house of the thief
and the murderer.
and the murderer.
Let Yahushua,
Let Yahweh shine.
Michael and Gabriel
Michael and Gabriel
come down
come down
with the flying saucers
with the flying saucers
and punish all the heathens
and punish all the heathens
that come up against us
that come up against us
as we speak thy word.
as we speak thy word.
Cause to be known
Cause to be known
by all
by all
that it is the angels that have done
that
it.
is the angels that have done it.
Cause to be spread
Cause it to be spread
through the media
through the media
throughout the whole world.
throughout the whole world.
Cause them to shake at thy coming.
Cause them to shake at thy coming.
In the name of Yahushua,
In the name of Yahweh,
thank you always.
thank you always.
So be it.
So be it.
Sar, turn. Gonna give a courtesy to the teacher. Men of Israel. Mother Shabbat. Imagine. Barak. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua Barakatah.
Yahweh Shem Yahshua Barakatah.
Yazmatah. Sar, we're gonna give a courtesy to the sisters. Be watching online. Men of Israel. Mother Shabbat. Imagine. Barak. Yahweh Shamar Alatham Ba'Shem Yahushua. Yazmatah. Class dismissed. We're supposed to be counsel right now, right?
I ran a little long.
It's normal.